I'm very pleased to introduce a big friend of UCU. I think many of us here have been on picket lines with him before and can honestly say we knew him before he was famous. So please welcome John McDonnell, Shadow Chancellor.
Ever since the Sun exposed me as a KGB agent, I've been reverting to my mother tongue. Out there, we've been told there's a group of KGB colonels who are suing the Sun for associating themselves with us. Just want to say how proud I am. I'm briefly here because I've got to get back to the Commons. We've got an appropriations bill going through and we have to be there. Let me just say this on behalf of Jeremy Corbyn. He sends his solidarity, absolute 100% support. I'm just so proud of you. I'm proud of everything that you've done. I'm proud the way you organised the ballot. The turnouts were massive. The votes in favour of industrial action were massive. But I just tell you this. Within the first 100 days of a Labour government, we will be scrapping the Trade Union Act. We will restore free collective bargaining in this country, and we will ensure trade union rights are restored, and we're not asking for the earth. We simply want a government that abides by international labour organisation conventions. Can I also say, I've been on picket line after picket line. I was at Goldsmith with Sally, I was up in Scotland on Strathclyde and at Glasgow universities. And I just want to say this, picket lines like that don't emerge without organisation, so I want to thank this union. From Sally's leadership role, which has been significant throughout this dispute, I want to congratulate her for the work that she's done. And I want to congratulate every one of our stewards, every one of our activists that organised this dispute, because it was about an engagement with membership, exploring the issues, taking their views into account and then mobilising on the day itself. And I want to say this as well, I'm so proud that FE is coming out now as well. What's been spectacular on those picket lines as well is the number of students that have come out in solidarity as well. And I want to pay tribute to them. And do you know what's important to me as well? Is that Labour MP after Labour MP now is back out on picket lines, supporting our movement. For a period there were some who were embarrassed about the association between Labour and trade. That's no longer the case. And you've got Labour MP after Labour MP here. You've got our shadow education team. You've got others here in direct solidarity. And throughout the country, we've had Labour MPs and Labour councillors on those picket lines in solidarity. Now, we know how tough disputes are. We've all been. We come from a trade union background ourselves, all of us. We know how tough disputes can be. But you know, at times when you have a just cause, you have to see things through. But I just say this to you. It's exactly as Sally said, this is about your wages, your future wages that they're cutting. But they've come for you before, haven't they? They've come for your conditions of employment. They've come for your present wages. And now they've come for your pensions. You've drawn a line in the sand, not just for your movement, but for the whole of the trade union movement. You've said this far and no further, because we're not willing to take it anymore. And that takes an act of courage and determination. And in response to that, you deserve our 100% and absolute solidarity. And I tell you, from the Labour movement, the Labour Party, that's what you will get until you win this dispute and you have a just settlement that will protect your pensions. Because once they've broken you, they'll come for others. And you know, I don't put it past them either for an assault on the state pension at some point in time as well. This is about the imposition of austerity policies right the way throughout our society. The way in which they've undermined the concept of education, as we've described it, as a gift from one generation to another, not a commodity to be bought and sold as a result of tuition fees. The way in which they undermine in which they've sought to undermine the whole concept of the professional nature of your role as well, and turn you into almost, if they could, the zero-hour contracts, gig economy within education itself. You've said an end to that, and I'm so proud of you that you've done it today. I believe now that there's, well, I don't know when this next general election is going to come. I think these Tories will cling on to office as long as they possibly can. They're not in power, but they're clinging on to office. But you're sending a message to them on behalf of the whole trade union movement. We're not taking it anymore, and we're willing to take you on if necessary. And I've met with Vice-Chancellors in Scotland, and it's very interesting, the response, because they are split down the middle. There's many of them now that just want a settlement and are willing to negotiate. But yes, there are a few hardliners, and we've seen that emerging out of Oxford, the way in which they've gerrymandered the vote on these occasions with the additional college votes, etc. But I believe you are actually winning hearts and minds, not just of your own members, the trade union movement, the labour movement itself, the wider community. And that pressure is being exerted on these Vice-Chancellors. And that's why they've been forced, as a result of your successful action, to now get to ACAS and start negotiating seriously. So you've marked up the first success of the campaign. The next success is going to be a just settlement that protects your pension rights. But as Sally has said, that can only be done if we maintain absolute determination and courage and conviction and solidarity in this dispute. And I just say this to you. You will have absolute solidarity from the Labour Party. And I say this finally, whether it's on the picket line or in Parliament, we will be with you until you win. Solidarity.
John McDonnell for his solidarity today and for always. John came down to our picket line at Lambeth College in Clapham a few years ago on the days of our great strike of 42 days and went back to Parliament and put an early day motion to support us. So, you know, we know that we can rely on John McDonnell, and we hope he gets in soon.